This week's update to GTA Online has a big focus on the new content with the LS Tags daily collectible as well as the Pizza This delivery missions, along with the 2 new DLC vehicles. However, when it comes to other vehicle discounts, there's actually some pretty solid choices in terms of rare as well as removed vehicles that have been featured back into the game for a limited time this week. We discussed these in my weekly update guide from Thursday. However, when it comes to the performance reviews for cars in GTA Online, I would always focus on the discounted vehicles as well as those removed cars. I would rarely talk about the 2 free vehicles that players have a chance to unlock each week, just because usually there would be so many other vehicles to go over, I wouldn't have time to talk about those in addition to that. But this week, I think we have some really solid choices and a nice solid selection of cars that I think players have to unlock this week in-game because they're great to drive, they have good performance, and overall, they're pretty easy to snag as long as you just log into the game and play. These are, of course, the podium vehicle as well as the LS Car Meet Prize Ride. I did want to try out a new style of video today while I customize as well as review these cars, since I don't really ever do car customizations on my channel, and I think this could be a fun new format to introduce to the channel as well. And if you guys like it, I will definitely do another one next week. I know players who watch the discount buyers guides as well as the removed vehicle guides would sometimes want me to go in depth on the free cars each week, so let's try it out and see how it goes. Alright, starting off, we have the LS Car Meet Prize Ride this week, which is the Grotti Cheetah Classic. In order to unlock this car, all you need to do is place top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races for 2 days in a row. It's an extremely easy car to unlock, basically, just as long as you log into the game and participate in one race for 2 days. This car is actually modeled after the iconic Ferrari Testarossa, so the Grotti Cheetah Classic is going to incorporate nice design elements from the Ferrari 328, as well as, you get some other little car inspirations here from like the BMW M1 and stuff. They're not super noticeable, they're more subtle, but particularly around that front bumper, the pop-up headlights, etc. The sides and the rear are going to draw inspiration from other various classic Ferraris. Overall, you get a nice nostalgic yet powerful appearance with this car. It comes with a V12 engine, it sounds great, you get exceptional power, really good traction, and it's also a top contender in the sports classics category, without really the common pitfall of spinning out in those tight corners. Unless you really just don't brake for the turn at all, then any car is going to spin out for you, to be honest. But it's reliable, it's got really good brakes, and so it's really good on the track. I think it has good racing viability, and it's also a very versatile choice if you just want to casually cruise around the map or competitively race. It's going to mirror the prowess and style of its historical counterparts. You have to unlock it this week. Alright. Please don't hate me on this setup. I wanted to go with something a little bit different for this Cheetah Classic. I wanted, like, the simple thing that anyone could do is just go with a Ferrari red, and the car looks so unbelievably good, right? That's how I have my other Cheetah Classic customized, actually. But for this one, I was like, I want to try something different, and let's just see how it turns out. And you know what? I think it turns out okay. I think the carbon Cheetah R rims actually really help this car a lot. It makes the green look a lot better, in my opinion. I wouldn't want it to be super shiny. I wanted something a little bit more muted, and I never put olive green on cars. I don't think there's really any other car in my garages or any of my garages where I have this kind of color green. I think maybe one, but I have a couple gasoline green cars on like the Progen GTB Custom from Benny's. I think there's the other one on the, not the Karen Previan, I forget the car's name, but anyways, this is what we got right here, and let's just check out the performance. Let's head on over. Actually, I'm gonna go up into the hills, and I want to do my classic racetrack while we talk about it, since this is gonna be a fun car to take out on the track. Okay, well, a G's cache has been spotted. So actually, before we get started here, this is my route. I usually go up through here. You see this in my buyer's guides and my removed vehicles guides. I come through here, go up the hill, then I make the left, and I go all the way around. And then I come back through here, and then I end up at this intersection. The other spot you could do, I like this as well. You start off at this gas station, you go up, you go by over here, you come all the way through, and then you end up at the winery. That's also a pretty good route. But let's take this one here. So we'll start off, that's the intersection I'm gonna finish on. And let's just kind of see, I'm not timing this to really see, but 2 minutes right now on my recording. So let's just see where we end up. Usually, a quicker pace would be sub 3 minutes between, really quick would be 2 minutes. But usually it's going to be 2:30, 2:45 for like most vehicles. So let's just kind of see. We got a little bit of oversteer, of course, if you're like diving into a corner and things like that, but the acceleration is really nice. The exhaust notes are fantastic on this car as well. You really do need to watch you're turning a little bit. You can't move your analog stick all the way to the left or right to turn, because this car is going to throw itself into a little bit of a fit and oversteer. Something to watch out for. I mean, if you're like really trying to competitively race, it may be an issue, but I would say just for like normal, just driving around the game, You don't got to worry about it. Every time you let off the throttle, you get those beautiful exhaust pops. It's awesome. This car sounds great. It looks great. I love this car in real life. I think every player should own one. And for the prize ride this week of just, what is it, placing top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races just for 2 days in a row. I mean, this is incredibly generous. Just log into the game twice, get an LS Car Meet race done. Half the time, you're not even going to, like, fill the slots, so you're pretty much good to go. Whoa, we almost crashed right there. We're making good time through this course right now as well. There's just one turn up here that you got to watch out for when you're actually driving this car, or honestly any other car for that matter. If you guys think back to my buyer's guides and my remove vehicles guides, where I would basically do performance reviews on every single car in the game, this is where you got to watch out, especially if you're coming from the other direction, just because it's really easy to crash no matter what car you're driving, unless it's like the Krieger or something. It is kind of tough to navigate that at speed. I'm also not the best driver here in GTA Online, so also keep that in mind. Cars like to make that left turn there, so I like to avoid them. Coming up this hill is pretty nice. You just got to watch out here a little bit, just in case your car kind of steps out on you. I can't really mention any problems with this car. I mean, this car has the same oversteer profile as other cars, where just, you know, you just got to watch out for it. It's something that, you know, you can't treat this like it's, well, yeah, like I was talking about before, Benefactor Krieger or a Progen Emrys or something. It's not a modern hypercar or anything like that. This is a classic sports car in the game, and a classic Ferrari at that. So you got to treat it like that. The top speed isn't going to reflect that of a modern supercar either, but for a classic sports car vibe in this game, holy crap, this is an incredible vehicle. I love it. This and the Turismo Classic. I don't know which one I like more. The performance on both are actually very similar. I would say the Turismo Classic has a little bit less oversteer. Both of them kind of do, but honestly, at the same time, the Cheetah Classic feels like it can actually take a corner a little bit better. The turning radius on it feels like it's a little bit better. So here we go. We're pulling up to the end. This was basically 2 minutes and a 45-second lap time. So basically where I wanted to be right there. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I wanted to be between maybe 240, 250. At 3, you know, if I crashed, it would have been 3 seconds or something like that. But overall, a very sexy car in this game. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this paint job. I don't think I'm actually going to change it. You know, a lot of it's stock, right? Stock bumper, front bumper. I would have went, maybe I'll change the skirts back to just like the primary olive green. I figured I'd maybe match the skirts with the, like, kind of this front black lip spoiler, or not just like front black lip to the bumper, but I don't know, you know, there's no way to put anything on the back. I wouldn't necessarily do that. I may just go back to olive green here, but overall, I think this is an incredible car in this game as well. It's fun to drive. The feedback you get while driving this car is really, really nice, I must say. Next up is this week's podium vehicle, which is more or less left up to chance for you to unlock, but I know there's a bunch of players out there who will just basically exploit the game, where you can keep spinning the lucky wheel and closing the game when it lands on something you don't like, or just close app or unplug your internet and keep trying to unlock it for free. But nonetheless, the Imponte Ruiner ZZ8. The ZZ8 is going to draw its aesthetic heavily from the 1998 to 2002 Pontiac Firebird, with a hood reminiscent more of the Firebird's WS6 performance package, and the headlight design is going to be influenced by the SLP Trans Am Firehawk. But overall, this car has a nice, like, bulky, muscular build, and it's complemented by elements from the Chevy Camaro as well, notably with that front bumper. But you're also gonna abandon the iconic pop-up headlights with this car, and that's gonna take more of an inspiration, I guess, from maybe like a modern look, so you get kind of like a mix of nostalgia and modern maybe. Nonetheless, a very aggressive looking muscle car. I would say it has pretty good speed, decent acceleration, but handling that is going to demand a little bit of finesse to manage, because you can have the potential for oversteer at high speeds once again with this car. Its body, though it is visually sturdy, it's also going to deform very easily upon hard impacts and crashes, so you of course need to put the armor upgrade on, and that'll keep your car looking pristine once you crash, because then it really doesn't deform that much after that. So with that being said, let's check out the gameplay. Alright, so here is my finished design. Sorry, I should probably adjust my mic. This is going to be my finished design of the Ruiner ZZ8. And I went with, you know, I wanted to do maybe like some sort of mesh wheels. I don't know why I figured it would look decent on this car. It was just something I thought I could try. And then I ended up going with these. They were called the Forged Stars. They were under the track section. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with these, but I figured, you know, I didn't like big 5-spoke wheels. I didn't like any like split rims. You could go with just something in the muscle class for wheels, or the muscle category, but I didn't go for any of that either. I was thinking, you know, because Lowriders has some mesh wheel styles. They just look a little bit too tacky for the car, so I didn't go with that. But anyway, the Ruiner ZZ8. When it comes to muscle car performance in this game, I think there's going to be a lot of muscle cars that are actually better than this. For example, you know, the Vigoro ZX. You're going to have, honestly, even maybe in a sense, the Dominator GT. If I can compare this to anything, it feels like the Dominator GT, the new convertible that we got, the new Mustang GT convertible that we got with the Chop Shop update. Acceleration and top speed feels about the same. I'm not sure what the actual top speed of this car is, but I know that the Dominator ASP is going to be faster. The Gauntlet, the Bravado Gauntlet, probably the Bravado Gauntlet Interceptor, even though that's like an emergency class police vehicle, but I'll just consider it a muscle car for the sake of this. You know, the normal Vigoro ZX, the Vigoro ZX convertible, all that. The Imponte Phoenix, this was kind of the inspiration that I had for this car. I know that I was basically trying to go with the look of the, what was it, the 1979 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am in the show Longmire, and one of the characters drives basically that car around. And I know this is a completely different car, but nonetheless, I wanted to kind of style it the same way with that similar blue. I don't even know what blue that guy was rocking in the show, but it seemed like a little bit lighter than this, but it had sort of like a bright whiter or blue finish to it, so I figured I'd try that out. Anyways, when it comes to handling, I'd say this car handles pretty well. You know, it kicks out a little bit. It has a tendency to kick out. I need to make sure I gotta steal one of these before they stop despawning, because I do want to customize one of those Imponte Phoenixes in this game. The braking, I would say, let's... Oh, whoops, I did not mean to crash into you. Let's see the braking. Let's, like, stop right at the light. Hit the brakes, and okay, we don't even make it across the intersection. The braking's pretty good. I want to see if it is rear or all-wheel drive, or if it's just front wheel. It's definitely not going to be front, so it is rear wheel drive. I must say, though, just in terms of, like, the feel you get when you drive this car, it's great. I love the way it feels to drive this car around. I think the acceleration could be a little bit better. The top speed feels okay. I don't think you're going to win any races with this, but for it being the podium vehicle this week, I mean, you got to take advantage, right? If it's for free, it's for me. That is the model that we have here in GTA Online. This could be a fun vehicle to grind money in, things like that. I think you will greatly enjoy it. Realistically, though, when it comes down to any sort of podium vehicle, you want to spin it off the lucky wheel. But say if you're like, oh, I don't know if I should end up keeping it or not. I mean, even if you sell it, you're not going to get any money out of it because it's a free vehicle. You can only sell vehicles for 60% of the purchase price in this game, minus all the upgrades you attributed to it. So when it comes to something like this car, if you win it off the podium, what you could do, say if you want to make a little bit of money back that you spent on this car initially 2 years ago when it came out, or whenever you bought it, and you still want to have this vehicle, keep your podium vehicle, because of course you want it for free, you're not going to sell it for any money, and then sell your original one for 60% of the purchase value. That way you'll make back 60% of your money. You'll only be down 40% in total of your initial expenses on buying this car in the first place. I think it's a nice car. I would honestly say it's even worth just buying as is, even if you're not going to win it off the podium. So overall, pretty sweet choice here in this game. That's all I have planned for today's video, so we're going to wrap things up right here. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, I mean, these are two really good vehicles you want to make sure you can unlock this week. The Grotti Cheetah Classic is just going to take a couple races on your end. You know, prize ride is in the name. It is a prize ride. You can unlock it at no actual monetary cost. You're pretty much good to go. Just take a little bit of time, unlock the car, and then the Ruiner ZZ8, I mean, it's this week's podium vehicle, so you just got to get lucky spinning the wheel, or, you know, keep unplugging your internet every single time you you spin the wheel and wait till you get the car, or I guess players close down their game, things like that. It seems like a lot of work, but if there's a car you really want to win, it's definitely worth it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new. Look at the speed we're going. We are going so fast. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more videos like this. I've never tried doing just a prize ride and a podium vehicle, you know, guide and review on the two cars, and I feel like it's a pretty decent topic. You know, if the appeal is there and you guys like me talking about the prize and the free vehicles for the week, let me know. I'll totally keep doing these every single week, because I never really talk about these in my discounts buyers guides. I never talk about them in my remove vehicle guides. I probably could have incorporated them, but we have enough discounts usually every single week that it would be tough to fit in these cars without those videos dragging on too long. So I feel like a nice dedicated video on those two cars for the week would be really good, considering I never really talk about them. You know, I just talk about them in my weekly update video and mention them in my weekly update guide, but I never fully review them. So again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more next week on the podium vehicle and the prize ride. With that being said, see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios amigos.